Hi, Marissa.
Hi, Siomara.
So I guess we have a story to tell, right?
We sure do. I have a secret.
What's your secret?
My secret was the year was 1980 something, and I was a young teenage girl in high school, and I found out I was pregnant.
Were you scared?
I was terrified, not knowing what to do, what choice or what decision to make. I had one party wanting me to have the child, and the other party wanted me to have an abortion. Terrified, not knowing what decision to make, I made the choice to terminate that pregnancy. I went into depression. It was a secret that I would carry for a long time.
How long?
For many years, I shared it. I kept it to myself. Then a few years later, I met a wonderful man who's now my husband, and we have 3 beautiful children, and I shared it with him. But it was always still that pain of what I did and the torment. And you know, the enemy, I knew I had asked God to forgive me, and I knew he had forgiven me. The hardest part was forgiving myself. For many, many years, I struggled with that. And the enemy is clever at reminding us of our past sin, even though we know we've been forgiven. You know, my mother-in-law is pro-life, and she would always put pictures in the local paper of one of my children with a caption that read, "What if I'd been aborted?" above the face of my child, which was that constant slap and reminder of what I had done many years ago. And then, you know, I knew I supported pro-life after that. I would never want anyone to have to suffer and go through what I had gone through. And years down the road, you know, I used to always came to the CareNet banquets or supported CareNet in other ways. But every year in October, it was a constant, another reminder of the choice that I made on that fall day in October 1980 something. Fast forward to 2000, I think it was 2019, and we had talked about going to Washington and the March for Life. And then I think it was probably the beginning of January, you invited me to come with you. And I accepted. And at that time, I actually shared with you that I had been a young woman who had an abortion. And so you had no idea, but I knew that God was in the midst of it all. And he was working it, you know, because he had a purpose for all of this. And so I went to Washington with you. I accepted and went to Washington in March. And I remember us standing there and a woman asking us our stories. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I share my story. I have to go home and tell all of my family now. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
And when we marched, I marched and I had a scarf that day and I had a little baby. Remember, I had my child. I marched with my unborn child tucked in my scarf that day. But it was part of what God was completing and that healing. And so Siomara said to me as we, you know, during that march and our time together, asked me if I would help her, you know, and help young women. And I always said, if someone else was in my shoes, I so would do everything I can to help them to not make that painful decision. And so here it is, 2020. I told Siomara, yes, I'd help her. And then fast forward to 2021 of March of this year, we have been praying for multiple women.
Yes.
And Siomara does some counseling at a problem pregnancy center. And in March of this year, God brought a young girl who was pregnant and her mother. She was there thinking she was coming to have an abortion. And her mom found out that she was pregnant and begged and pleaded for help. And so here we are.
Here we are, right?
Yeah, here we are.
I remember when I sat down and talked to this mother and needed help. And I remember coming and, you know, when the mom said to me, will you be able to take my daughter? I remember going home and getting on my knees and asking God, where can I bring her? And I remember the March for Life. Mm-hmm. And knowing you for a long time, you kept that secret, even telling me that you had an abortion. Mm-hmm. And as we're walking for March for Life, you could be, you're close to somebody, you might not know their secret. You don't know their hurt, their pain. Yep. But as we were walking together, and there's thousands of people, and walking for the defenseless, I didn't know that my sister was hurting. Even though we walked everywhere together. And so,
ran sometimes. Ran sometimes. We made it to the front of the parade.
Yes, we did. We made it to front parade. Mm-hmm. And when God put in my heart that it was you and Dennis and your family, I remember calling you and meeting with you and your husband, and it wasn't a hesitate, it was a yes. And so you say yes to the call.
Hola, muy buenas noches. Mi nombre es Evelyn. Estoy agradecida con Dios por estar acá y por mi bebé.
As she was saying, her name is Evelyn. She says good evening, and she's very grateful to be here and very grateful to have her baby.
This year, Evelyn came to join us, as I shared with you earlier. Evelyn came to our house in March, and she did not know a word of English, and we did not know Espanol. So it was almost like having a new baby come in the home. We were preparing things, making sure everything's safe and clean, and setting up her room. We had Post-it notes all on our cabinets in Spanish of spoons, forks on the drawers, cups, and thank God for the translator app, because we use that a lot, and we had a lot of laughs because the translator doesn't always translate correctly. But Evelyn came, and she has been such a blessing to us, making us laugh, being part of our family. I just can't say enough. She's very respectful and helpful, and we're just happy to have her in our home, and looking forward to, in a few more weeks, meeting her beautiful little man. Mm-hmm. And just continuing to be a support system to her and help her. And the important part is being involved in these things. You may not have the opportunity that we have to take someone in, or you can support programs in your local communities in the areas that can help young women and families, because there are married men and women who have made the choice to abort a child as well. And so if there's some way that you can adopt a family, support that family, maybe it's just bringing them diapers, buying them food, or whatever. There are so many ways to get involved. And maybe you may have an opportunity like mine to be able to take in a young girl and her child and help them and walk with them on their journey, that they know that they're not alone, and to trust that God will provide for every need that they have.
So I love when we first started, because like Marissa said, she only spoke English, Evelyn only spoke Spanish, so I get to speak both languages. And so it's pretty cool coming into a family and kind of introducing different words and testing them, giving them homework every day. So I would say, Evelyn, ¿cómo se dice gallina?
Chicken.
Chicken. And Marissa, ¿cómo se dice in dog? In
perro.
So we were, as we started our journey as working together with Evelyn, we started, sitting down with dinners and talking and learning the language. Today, Evelyn can understand Marissa a lot.
No more secrets.
No more secrets there. And Marissa can understand Evelyn even on that. And so we started with many things, from I do the doctor appointments. I take Evelyn to her doctor appointments. Marissa takes Evelyn to all her schools, and so we all as a family all have different jobs to do with Evelyn, and so we started with CareNet, and hey, Gail. So we want to say thank you, Gail, and to everybody, the team, who's sending us stuff, the teaching from Lama's parenting, and providing diapers, providing clothes for Evelyn. And as we're getting ready for her baby coming, it's pretty exciting. But the exciting part has been the journey that we've been together, the journey from everyday routine. What is it like in our whole walk? Like I said in the beginning, we help women to make the right choice for their life. But there's a difference when we walk with a person.
Yes.
My favorite thing is that Jesus walked with us and he went before us. And that's the part that we're doing together with Evelyn. Every day we have our breakfast, we have lunch and dinner, we talk about our struggles and pains and hurts. And then there are many times we'll be asking Evelyn, how you feel today? Whether she's having a good day or a bad day. Pretty much always the good days. And, ¿qué es tu favorito memoria estando con la familia de los Gullivers? I asked her what's her favorite memory of being with the Gullivers family.
Pues ha sido todo porque son muy buenas personas, me han ayudado desde que yo estoy con ellos y estoy muy agradecida con Dios por ponerme con una muy buena familia.
She's very grateful to be with such a wonderful family, grateful that God has provided that, hay cosas que la he hecho rir. There's some things that have made you laugh que no recuerdos muy.
Demasiados, más con el esposo de Marissa, que siempre anda haciendo algo para hacerme reír. O sea, es muy, muy bonito estar con ellos.
It's very nice to be with them, and she says, especially her husband Marissa, Dennis, who's always being funny and always making her laugh. One of the things that we have done is also educate Evelyn to be to love God, to love herself, and to love her baby. And also, as we walk into that journey together, every day is a new beginning. And for most, you might think, what's it like? For her, it must be hard because she's not with her family. We're completely strangers. Mm-hmm. But as we have introduced her through the Word of God, it has made it so easy. And there's so much things that we have gone through, amazing. ¿Qué unas cosas que quería decir usted que ese proceso de embarazo la tiene?
Pues me siento feliz, agradecida con Dios y con Siomara, con la familia Gulliver, por siempre ayudarme, con mi mamá, que es difícil estar sin ellos.
Yeah. And she's very grateful with me and the Gulliver family, and we're especially with her mom, which is the most difficult because she's not her mother. Our job is to have her mother and her be together. The greatest love that I told Evelyn that her mom did when she came up and says, I can't take care of Evelyn. I told Evelyn that the greatest love a mother or anybody can do is to give it to someone that's able to take care of them. And our job, Marissa and I, is that to unite them as a family to bring them together and be able to help her mom. I want to say thank you to all those who are sponsoring and helping, because this is what is not just choose life, but to walk and to help families come together and to make the right choice. As you see, Evelyn's very emotional, because that's one of the things that has been that's missing right now together. But the greatest thing is that there's so much support on that. And so, what was one of the best things the funniest things that we did together with Evelyn? Or the fun thing? I would say that her graduation.
Had fun things. Her graduation, I think, was a fun one where we made up T-shirts that said Team Evelyn, and we got in the back of my husband's pickup truck and we rode up to the school so she could get her diploma from the school at that time. And then afterwards we had fun. We were cheerleading, and you twisted your ankle.
For jumping.
Jumping off of picnic tables.
I would say also, too, that, me being 15 years old, Evelyn's 15 years old. When I was 15 years old, I was pregnant, too. And I know what it's like to be 15 years old. And for Marissa to be young as well and make a choice that through this process, there's a healing process for both of us, and through her life there's also a healing process. And so we're really excited for this journey, and for her new baby that's coming, and the purpose that God has. The most important is God called us to do something, and he has a plan and a future for her, but he also has a plan for us and everyone else. And this purpose for me personally is to serve the Lord mighty, and so that a woman can choose life, and through that life has a purpose for this child. And we don't know, maybe he will be the next doctor, next president, or maybe the president of CareNet. We don't know. So, ¿quiere decir algo más? Would you like to say something else?
Que me siento demasiado bendecida.
I feel very blessed.
Que nunca pensé tener un hijo a esta edad, pero que es lo mejor que me pudo pasar.
She says, I never thought I was going to have a child at this age, but it was the best thing that ever happened to me. Yeah. And that is the truth of life, because when a young lady comes in and they have nowhere, no provision, the greatest provision somebody can do is to walk with them. And she today is blessed because she didn't choose to have this baby aborted, but she chose life, even though in this age right now, but she's very blessed. And so we're very thankful. We were so proud. Evelyn's doing great in school, has friends, and has a great team. And it's great. So we want to say thank you to everyone out there. I wish I could take you in this journey with me, but you are in this journey. You will see so many pictures and all the things that we have done. It's been exciting. We could sit here all night and talk about it. God has a plan and purpose for all of us today. And I don't know what your plan and purpose is today, but I hope that you will be blessed seeing a little picture of Choose Life, because he first chose us. And today we are thankful with him. So thank you very much. My name is Siomara.
Evelyn.
Marissa, thank you.
Thank you to everybody.
Thank you.
God bless
God bless
everybody.
you.
God bless. It's not just choose life, but be part of somebody's life. And that's what you have been doing. And I'm beyond grateful that God picked you and your family
And you.
and me and everybody else and those who are watching today. God's picking you for that call.